y'all be coming. What if Donald Trump got assassinated? Listen, the world would have been in shock. First of all, then I ain't gonna cap, bro. The Trump supporters would have I ain't gonna cap. Them niggas get down, boy. You better lock up, boy. I'm trying to tell y'all, them boys do not play. They gonna pull up on some shit. I don't know who. It depends whoever the cause is. That nigga not dead. Oh yeah, guaranteed. And it's gonna be purged. I swear to God. But let's go ahead and get to video for new people, new subscribers.
On July 13th, 2024, Donald Trump escaped an attempt on his life. He managed to turn his head at just the right angle so that a bullet shot in his direction grazed his ear rather than hitting him in the head.
That shit's crazy.
But what would happen if he didn't turn his head? What if Donald Trump was assassinated that day?
Ooh, talk to me.
Who would replace him? And could this lead to an American Civil War?
Possible.
In this video, we're going to go through multiple scenarios on what would happen if Donald Trump got assassinated. The first one we'll look at is if he actually got shot on July 13th. Now, I need to be clear that at the time of this recording, the assassination attempt is still being investigated, so some details may change, but what we do know is that the shooter came incredibly close. Another thing that I want to make clear is that I don't wish ill will toward anyone. If you're new to the channel, you should know that we often look at news.
His voice is so soothing. Pause on that. He was made for this. Literally, to read books, audio books, to just do commentary. I just can we just give it up for him? His voice is just perfect for this. What?
Stories and give our hypothetical take on it. That's all that this is.
Yeah.
In Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13th, the assassin shot from 140 meters away. Trump had just turned his head a couple of centimeters. If he hadn't have done this, it's very likely that he would have been killed by the bullet. Instead, the shot grazed his ear. If he hadn't been so lucky, we'd be looking at a completely different world today. Donald Trump.
They say fuck it a fight.
So
I can't
what would happen next? One of the most important things that would need to be figured out would be who would take the mantle of the Republican presidential nominee. It all depends on.
Nigga, forget that, bro. I'm telling you, we would have been, the world would have. It would have been 2020 all over again. Y'all remember when 2020 just had a bunch of bullshit happening? I promise you, this would have been the thing in 2024 to shift everything. From July, whenever we got shot, I think July 13th or whatever, the world would have been cooked. I promise to God, bro. Shit would have got crazy.
When this happens, the answer can change. If it were before the Republican National Convention or after. So, in the case of the July 13th assassination attempt, things would get a little more complicated. Since this event happened right before the Republican National Convention, which was set for July 15th, the delegates involved in selecting the Republican presidential nominee would have to move incredibly fast. With little time in between the shooting and the convention, the nominee would likely be decided on the convention floor that night. It would be incredibly messy and frantic. There'd be backroom deals and public speeches from the hopeful nominees. Now, since Trump had no strong opposition during the primaries, almost everyone could be considered. It would be like going back to square one. Even people who didn't run in the primaries could be nominated. This would be a night full of bids for power, and whoever's left standing would be the Republican nominee, who would then run for president. Now, there are some other scenarios that we'll get into in a bit, but what might happen outside of politics?
War!
Well, the answer to that is a lot more unknown and potentially terrifying. Donald Trump was seen yelling "fight" after he got shot, and there's a good chance his supporters would do just that. Now,
I'm sorry. How does this man peep this, y'all? I don't know if y'all caught it. Watch this man put his fist up and immediately go. Shit. What the fuck? Take that shit, man. Look at watch.
Fight after he got shot.
This is hilarious. Look.
There's a good chance his supporters would do just that. Now, we're not saying everyone, but the extreme fringe of his base might possibly engage.
What the fuck was that?
Just look what happened on January 6th, 2021.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Trump supporters stormed the
Look,
United
it's
States
crazy.
Capitol building. This was after
They don't
their
play,
emotions
I'm
were
telling ya.
stoked by talk about a stolen election, a claim that was proven to be false. So, what would happen if their leader was assassinated? Well, they'd likely be looking for someone to blame, potentially a group of people or the opposing party.
Exactly.
Donald Trump has incredibly passionate supporters, more passionate than what we've seen from almost any other political figure in the past.
Facts.
There's a good chance there could be outbursts of violence and civil unrest. Hopefully, this violence would be contained to small pockets of the country and not become a full-on civil war. With Biden still being president and commander-in-chief, he's in control of the military. If things got out of hand, hopefully they'd be able to put a stop to it. And hopefully no bigger militias would form either. Now, even without any violence, Trump would be idolized even more than he is today. Supporters would make him a martyr. And if some people on the left were happy that this happened, this would create an even bigger political divide across the country. The new Republican nominee would certainly use this as fuel to energize voters, turning him or her into an even stronger candidate.
Most definitely.
And more Trump supporters might be inspired to vote in the election now, even without him in the race. But what if Trump wasn't dead, but incapacitated? Well, technically the rules and laws that are in place would still apply, but there could be more nuance. If there's a chance Trump comes back and he's healthy, then the party would likely debate whether or not he could continue as the nominee. They'd also consider if he'd be in good enough shape to be sworn in if he potentially became...
My thing is, bro, like, this nigga took being shot very well. Like, he just out in the streets. My dumb ass, nigga, if I get shot, nigga, I'm hiding. I'm in hiding. I ain't coming outside. Shit, y'all niggas, y'all gonna think I'm dead for sure. Cause like I'm not, like, nigga, I'm not coming outside. You want to see no tweets? You won't see a video? You won't hear from me unless I want you to hear from me. Nah, he better than me. Cause he was out about. He was just chilling.
President. Now, the story is a little bit different if the assassination attempt happened after the RNC on July 15th. Donald Trump would be elected as their nominee, so what would happen if he were to die before the election? Well, you might think that his running mate would be automatically elevated, so his current choice for vice president, J.D. Vance, would become the presidential nominee, but that's not the case. The nominee for president would still be voted upon by the Republican Party. They might go back to square one and reconvene the national convention, or they might just select a new candidate. There's a good chance that Trump's running mate would become the presidential nominee, but it's not a guarantee. Other party members might want to get into the mix. Now, the same rules would apply if Trump won the election on November 5th. That would make him the president-elect until Inauguration Day on January 20th. If he were to die between those dates, the vice president-elect doesn't automatically become president. Since Trump wouldn't officially be sworn in, the 25th Amendment, which allows the vice president to become president if the current one dies, wouldn't be applicable. Now, this got me thinking, could anything like this potentially delay the election? Well, technically it could, but it's incredibly unlikely. Election day is set by federal law, and it's November 5th. In order for this to change, it would need to be voted on in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. The president would need to sign off.
Ain't Kamala, I hope I'm saying her name, ain't this the new, like, y'all, I don't know politics like that, so shit, be with me. But ain't this like the person like who replaced Biden supposedly?
The president would need to sign off as well. But
I'm pretty sure that's
this can only happen if both parties
I think it's Kamala Harris,
which
I think
seems unlikely, especially given the political divide gripping the United States. Also, this would only delay the election by a couple of weeks. As the Constitution states, a president needs to be sworn in by January 20th of the following year.
Wow, okay.
Failing that, there would be no president and things could get really ugly. Now, this is how the election would be handled, which boils down to a bureaucracy and systems we already have in place. what happens next could be extreme civil unrest, violence, anger, a potential civil war. It's safe to say this would be a scary time for America, for a number of reasons. On the other hand, maybe a violent act like this might inspire Americans to put down their weapons and come.
Really, nigga? Really, nigga? You think they finna put down the guns, man? Let's be for real. You think they finna put down the guns or some shit like that? Boy, they finna pick up all the guns they've been waiting to use. They've been waiting for this. But they've been waiting for a moment. But I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I don't know, like, y'all, I hope the purge never happened. But listen, if it do, we got niggas who are already prepared, bro. They got the list already. They want this. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro.
Together.
Prepare yourself, man.
Considering the political division, that seems unlikely. Now,
realistically though, let me be for real. I've learned it's best to stay ready at all times. No matter what that it looks like. I'm not saying be war ready, just be ready for whatever. Like, just always have canned food stock. Always just like, I'm not gonna tell y'all to get a gun. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna. But always protect yourself. Whatever you do with that information, you do with that.
This is not a fun hypothetical scenario. Regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum, it would be a scary time for Americans.
Not everybody need a gun.
People around the world.
I'm gonna put that out there. Not everybody need one.
Hope this assassination attempt doesn't lead to any further violent acts.
Get it legally too.
I know I don't want to end up in a World War III, but
well,
that sounds like a story for another.
Yeah, but we just barely got out that mark, y'all. And I'm to be honest, bro. Like, realistically, I'm glad that, you know, Trump made it, and cause like he said in the beginning, I don't wish no ill will anybody. No matter if it's Biden or Trump, no matter, like, nobody, like, I don't want nobody to get hurt. But that was a crazy situation. Thank God nobody passed. And thank God it turned into a civil war. Nothing even crazier, bro. But I love y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts, opinions down below. What do you think what would have happened if Trump did get assassinated? I love y'all. Stay safe, and I'll see you on this video. We out.